Now, Julie Gerberding is an American infectious disease expert and the former director of the US Center for Disease Control. She's now executive vice president and chief patient officer at Merck. So absolutely fantastic to have her thoughts and insights this evening. And finally, we're joined by Heidi Larson, professor of anthropology at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. She's the director of the Vaccine Confidence Project, so also an essential issue that we'll be evoking.
If we haven't learned our lesson this time, I don't think we're ever going to. I've been watching this from AIDS to SARS to monkeypox, the pandemic in 2009, and feeding forward. Each time we have a new challenge, we promise to do certain things, and we do bring our level of preparedness up a notch or two. But that sustained commitment to truly creating global health security, we have not tipped. And I pray and am personally doing everything I can in my network, but also in my role as the co-chair of the Commission on Global Health Security, to really try to make sure that while we're fighting this pandemic, we're preparing for the next, because I do believe it's only a matter of time before we face another one of these situations or potentially something even worse. So now is the time to prepare.
Now is the time to prepare. Heidi, I'm just wondering, given these issues of vaccine nationalism, we've seen it in Europe, borders went up as soon as COVID-19 struck. We've seen countries develop and buy up billions of doses of vaccine. Do you think there is the beginnings of an understanding, particularly if you look in Europe, that there has to be more unity when it comes to health? We hear about a European Health Union and the burgeoning European Health Union, possibly. Do you think that that might catch on, or do you think we're possibly going the other way?
Well, I think it's all about bad timing, because this COVID happened to land in a most hyper-polarized political landscape that we've had in a long time. We're in an era of anti-globalization. It just fits right into all the current environment. I think, if we can get the underlying ferment to, and we could be able to switch our gears and be less polarized. I mean, the challenge with epidemics in general is, what else is going on, and what's gonna, I mean, in DRC, COVID landed in the middle of the Ebola trials. In another country, there was an earthquake while there was they're running to work on COVID. So in the politics of it all is, I mean, historically, vaccines were just the epitome of health diplomacy. It was used to stop, people fighting in wars. They would put their guns down for a few days so that people could be vaccinated. I think there are some new innovations, and there are some new, certainly trust building efforts. I think that what I've seen in the positive sense is community volunteerism. I mean, we talk about a lot of the dissent, but people have been incredibly resourceful, innovative. I'm sure many of us know our neighborhood much better than we did before COVID. There are, and that's, I think even locally, to start there. I mean, I remember, working on some of the same epidemics that Julie talks about, and not just natural epidemics, but the 911, but have you stocked your fridge? Do you have water? You have some really basic things, but I mean, I remember, working on some of the same epidemics that Julie talks about.
I've been watching this from AIDS to SARS to monkeypox, the pandemic in 2009, and feeding forward.
I mean, I remember, working on some of the same epidemics that Julie talks about, and not just natural epidemics, but the 911. But
I mean, I remember, working on some of the same epidemics that Julie talks about, and I even, well, not just natural epidemics, but the like 911, but
Have you stocked your fridge? Do you have water? You have some really basic things, but I think we will not forget. I mean, the world will not. There will be the pre-COVID and post-COVID world. We should remind ourselves that the reason we have CEPI is because of Ebola. And, I remind people about that. There's so much anxiety about fast, but I said, well, you know what? Are we talking about why it's faster? Because we did learn things from Ebola. And I think one of the things moving forward on this is trust. I mean, the importance of trust. And I think the bigger answer has to do with current politics that are a bit bigger than the unfortunately undermining some of the situation right now.